Alright, this is a game called Crossfire Legion? Yes. And I only picked it up because, well, I used to play a game called Crossfire, which was a first-person shooter like 10, 15 years ago. I was really good at it. Now, this is an RTS game, but unfortunately, there is no fighting against bots. I'm not a big fan of online competitive games anymore these days. I much prefer to do like comp stomp style things or cooperative style games. Just not a huge fan of PvP anymore. So most of the games I pick up, I would expect some type of AI. This does say player versus AI. However, if you go into the lobby, there is no way to add AI. It literally means player, I mean, you have to have two teammates versus an AI on the map. So, yeah, kind of a disappointing thing there. So, yep, there is no way to fight AI. There is no comp stomp or anything like that. You do have a campaign, though. So, we'll go ahead and check out the campaign here. And I guess we can't select our faction or anything. Easy, medium, and hard. We'll just start out medium because it's the default difficulty. And we'll try it out. Oh, also, in terms of keyboard controls, it is arrow key based, but I'm using auto hotkey to switch it to WASD because I hate arrow key controls and using my mouse to move the camera. So don't mind me. So we'll probably spend like 30 minutes in the game, or maybe an hour, see how it is. It does seem like you have a commander that has powerful abilities. Do I need to click?
The fighting continues between Blacklist and Global Risk in what is now a war over the acquisition of data.
This is the biggest data breach we've ever seen.
Global Risk is an international military giant. They vow to protect by maintaining peace and order.
Training men and women for security missions.
Conflict while limiting the role of government military in acting upon threat. Separate warning of the danger.
Tensions have escalated throughout the world, and a group of experienced mercenaries called Blacklist have risen, claiming they fight for the people.
All the cyber attacks happening right now.
In the midst of all the chaos, a new institution has emerged called New Horizon, who has been offering humanitarian aid through the use of their advanced Neuralink technology.
Some prep material about big tech and how huge these companies have become and how powerful inside the corporate.
Breaking news. We are reporting a massive Blacklist army approaching the city. Forces are making their way westbound by ground. We'll continue to update you on this developing situation.
Contact medium-sized enemy force. All Blacklist forces, code word Orca. I say again, Orca. We are a go.
How are we doing on those buildings, Freefall?
I'm almost into building 1. I need 2 minutes.
Copy that.
Stalker, what's our ETA?
T-minus 1 minute. Sorry, Freefall.
Every time.
Viper, report status.
Viper to Phoenix.
We're in position now. Ground Operation Alpha is a go.
Commence attack.
All right, move it out!
Okay, people, lock it
Down. Targets in sight.
That's doing the trick, Viper. Keep it coming.
is ready. Here we go. Take down that anti-air turret.
Okay, that was the long cutscene. Okay, so I can scroll out, pan our camera. Please don't be a timed mission. Right-click movement. Attack move with A, except mine's a Z. Let's see, they don't have any ability. Let's see, med pack. They can cast a heal over time. And we can stun people in the target.
You're in.
Now,
Extracting. ETA 10 seconds.
the game is really, really loud, so it might activate my microphone.
I'm mobile.
Yeah, so I might activate my microphone. We'll see if I have to.
About this data then, brother. It has the coordinates of all global risk
Oh,
bases.
these are all like one unit.
It's going to win us this war. I can feel it. Yeah, I'm going.
Data extracted. Exfiltrating now.
All right, we're moving on to Tower 2.
Trying to see if I could activate units during cutscenes.
Viper, we're moving to Tower 2. How's it going down there? Distraction's working. Getting a lot of activity. You guys gotta hurry up with that data. Hang in there. This data payload will change everything. We've got boots on the roof. Hostile aircraft are incoming, people. Watch out for airstrikes. Let's make it quick. Lion here, go. This data better be worth it. We're losing people down here. Move. It'll be worth it. Trust me.
It does seem like there is some sort of high ground mechanic.
Firing.
Kind of seems like your people try to take cover as well.
Hostile aircraft inbound to your position. ETA 1 minute.
Can I control people to go back? That is some janky pathing. Why didn't he walk around this way?
Go for Lion. Let's go. Let's move. We
These guys seem pretty tanky.
Bulldog.
I just like heal these guys.
Help on its way.
Ah, okay. So I had to click it and then do this, and then they. Okay, I get you.
Lion here, go. Right, on the move.
Okay, so we'll go down here like this.
Destroyed. Airspace is clear.
Inbound with reinforcements.
Oh god, that's loud. Can I hit escape? No, I can't during cutscene.
I'm extracting. This one's tougher. I'll need more time.
Just
Okay.
do your job and we'll do ours. We have incoming. Keep them away from free fall.
There we go. You can't hit escape to open the menu. You have to do it this way. I'm gonna jack all this stuff down. There we go.
Yeah. Bulldog here.
Yep, I got you, game.
Need to hold off on that build. Lion here, go. Lion
These
here.
guys appear to be snipers. I don't know. Are they sniper? What are these?
Phoenix, hurry. I don't know how much longer I can hold them off. Hold on, brother. We've almost got
Why are
it.
they
What's your
janky
ETA?
like
We
that?
need to hurry this up. Yeah. Bulldog here. Go for Bulldog.
Is there a reason my guys are running forward? Okay, that is a frustrating mechanic. I am not controlling them to go forward to attack.
Holding. Hostile aircraft.
Ooh, that's
Protect free fall.
some rough unit weirdness.
I'm taking hits. I need backup here.
We got more incoming from multiple angles. You know the drill. Keep free fall safe.
Almost done. Hold on.
Strategic asset deployed in support. Truth.
Okay, so that's a delay thing. Why are these guys still running around? Shouldn't they have a hold position? Okay, target this first.
All data extracted. We're good to go.
Right, wrap it up.
Yeah, so unless your units are on hold position, they will run around like crazy little jackals. I'm not a fan of that.
Down here, stat.
Like, I really hate when your units behave like that in games. Does that make sense? Like, your unit shouldn't have a mind of their own in an RTS game. Like, unless I tell them to move down the ramp to attack, they should, like, stay on their high ground. Alright, let's go to, let's see, mission 2. Hang on, mission 2, and hopefully there's no big old cutscene here. Game does seem to have a little problem once you're fully loaded.
Viper's ground op was a success, and thanks to his distraction on the outskirts of the city, we now have the data. But now Global Risk has sieged the area, and Viper's forced to retreat into City Hall. He needs our help ASAP. We'll secure the train station here for supply, then make our way to City Hall, extract Viper, and get out of the area. City Hall surrounded. Viper won't have much time. We gotta hurry. Viper, what's your status?
That was much shorter cutscene.
Surrounded. This building won't hold much longer. Copy that. Hold on. We're coming.
Okay, eliminate. Okay, I can't control those guys. Can I control which direction I'm facing? Is there directional armor in the game? Fires a harpoon. Aircraft are pulled to the ground. Interesting.
Rolling out. Firing harpoon now.
Picking up a distress call. Friendly's under fire.
Cheetah copies. Copy move.
Can't use any of my heals yet. I can heal on this guy.
On its way.
Thanks for the help, sir.
Report status.
Most of us were wiped out, but there are more near the train station.
Rolling out.
It's like, why are these guys running down the hill on their own?
Copies.
Like, why must I hit hold position on everybody constantly?
Taking heavy fire.
All right, let's secure the area.
Cheetah, harpoon out.
Help on its way.
I don't know if Snare actually does anything for me. Can I heal this guy?
Hold off on that build.
Nope.
Cheetah.
I'm refusing to hit Alt because it mutes my microphone, so I won't be using the hotkeys, unfortunately.
Rolling out.
Does this actually do damage? No?
Cheetah. Copy move.
Is there a cover system at all? Seems like they want to. Why'd that unit snap back like that? It's kind of weird.
Station secured. Just in time. How's it going over there, big brother? Not good. They got numbers on us. We're getting secured. Hold on. We have incoming. Hold your fire. Those are civilians.
The siege has us trapped. We have nowhere to go.
Everyone get on the train now.
There are a lot of global risk forces at City Hall.
More civilians incoming. Get them to safety.
Rolling out.
In firefight with hostile LV.
Cheetah copies. Cheetah copies. Rolling out.
Yeah. Bulldog here. Help on its way.
Oh, like, target. Well, that's annoying.
Cheetah.
Where do I keep getting all these dudes from? Can I just, like, impale kill somebody? No, I can't.
Help on its way.
Cheetah.
Now, does it have smart targeting on this? It does. Okay, bonus points for that. It will auto-use the next unit.
Get moving to City Hall. Viper needs us.
Yeah, this is as far as you can scroll out. I would like to have a higher camera.
Rolling out.
Need to hold off on that build.
Cheetah.
Help on its way.
Adjusting fire.
Help on its way.
Cheetah.
Help on its way.
Cheetah copies. Rolling out.
Strategic asset deployed in support.
Copy move.
Uh-huh.
Help on its way. Phoenix, where the hell are you? Hold on, big brother. We're here now.
Cheetah copies. Cheetah.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of losses on my part.
Adjusting fire.
Strategic asset deployed in support. One down. Help on its way.
Can't really see what I'm targeting. Health bar, like, being so far down is throwing me off.
Help on its way. To the next one.
Cheetah. Copy move.
Keep pushing. Contact.
Oh, I guess I can click like this, maybe?
Northeast bridge sector. Help on its way.
Yeah, I can click there, okay.
Copy move.
Another one down. We're nearly there.
Copy move.
Strategic asset deployed in support.
Adjusting fire.
City Hall is secure. About time. We have a situation here. I suggest you make it back on the double. Negative. I got shot. There are others injured here. Leave without us. Phoenix, get those people to safety. We'll find another way through. Contact medium side. What are our options? There's a hospital nearby with a helipad, and there are no global risk AAs around. All the injured are loaded on the bus. It's not much, but that'll do. All units, escort the bus to the helipad. Move, move, move! Take it slow. There's injured on that bus. Don't worry about our comfort, brother. Get out quickly, or none of us get out at all.
Like, when you're doing a drag select, it shouldn't allow you to move the screens. Rather
Cheetah
fine.
copies. Rolling out.
Hey, Phoenix, remember Dubrovnik? Sure. I couldn't walk, they couldn't get me out. So you stole a horse. See, when you're injured, I steal you a beautiful Croatian stallion. When I'm injured, I get an old bus. I'll make you ride that bus all the way to our assault on Mount Riley. Mount Riley? Did you find weak points
It's like
in the
ants
data? Base
swarming
locations,
a cookie.
black sites, tech programs, classified missions. It's serious pay dirt, brother.
We'll see if we can get to any base building.
Rolling out. Getting hammered here.
Ground unit attacking.
Copy move.
Can I heal the bus?
Help on its way.
Yes.
Cheetah.
To
Okay. Now, what do these guys do? Okay, so they actually do have an ability. Can each target air? No. Do I have anything that targets air?
We're almost there.
Oh. These guys are over here.
Help on its way. Help on its way.
Oh, that'll auto-target those guys, so I have to select... That's kind of annoying.
We've got an enemy blockade ahead. The helipad is just past it.
So can I select like that? I can.
Need to hold off on that build.
Transport taking damage.
Transport's fine.
Help on its way. Help on its way. All right, secure the helipad. Ground unit attacking.
I'll do this. Do that. Throw one of these off.
Help on its way. Help on its way. Good to see you, sir.
Free fall to Phoenix. I've got a problem here. Need backup ASAP.
Copy that. Listen up, folks. We're moving to help Freefall extract the Ghost Kit. From there, we move on to Mount Riley and put an end to global risk in the region once and for all.
I thought Global Risk was the good guys. Okay, let's see what Mission 3 is like. I would like to see base building, but we'll find out. I'm also not a big fan of games with population caps in it. I'm a Command & Conquer player at heart.
Freefall, checking in. We've successfully retrieved the package, but now for the hard part. I've begun decoding the global risk data, but it's gonna take some time to get through their encryption software. So far, I've managed to decrypt some hidden technology codenamed Ghost Kit. I've retrofitted myself with a prototype, but I'll need to get this back to HQ to start equipping our forces with it. I'm on my way to rendezvous with Phoenix and get this package out of here. It looks like there's heavy global risk presence in the area. We'll need to find a way through. If that wasn't hard enough, there are captive prisoners in a camp near our exfil route. But on the bright side, maybe we can do some good and free them. They might even be able to help us. Tunnel's collapsed. That'll buy me some time to get to our rendezvous point.
Copy.
I got Ghost Kit online. That'll let us stealth past enemy troopers.
Okay, so it's some sort of hero mission.
This is Freefall.
Okay, what do you do? Deactivate stealth ability, freefall hack generators,
Heading to point marked.
sneak past the searchlights.
Heading to point marked. Heading to point marked.
Oh, I didn't even notice that one. Can I walk right into this person?
We have a
No.
generator in sight.
Okay. So they do have the ability to see you. Can I kill you? Okay, you're just strong as shit.
Target marked.
Can you shoot from outside? Yes, I can.
Target marked.
Yeah, we can ghost kit, we stealth. Oh, her stealth has a timer on it.
Hacking now.
Good to see you, Freefall. Okay, what's the situation here?
We need to clear the way out so I can carry this tech through. It's too heavy for air transport, so the only way out with it is by ground.
This base is offline. We'll need to secure resources to get it operational.
I've cased out the area. There are 3 global risk protected points that we can steal resources from. Let's get the base going.
How heavy is that? Can't like an Abrams tank be carried by a Chinook?
I'll recover, don't worry about me. How's the data
That's an
decryption
old ass
going?
helicopter.
The data I've extracted so far has given us full architectural specs of Mount Riley, along with the ghost kit tech.
So what's this?
And that's just the beginning. Server farms in Iceland running 24/7, and we still have petabytes of data to go through. It'll take months. This is Freefall.
Okay, so what
Heading to
do?
point marked.
Takes 2 per second.
Point marked.
Steal resources for the enemy to build a base. Okay, so we do have base building. Cool.
Heading to point marked.
Can I shoot while stealth? Yes.
Heading to point marked. FNR worked up. FNR worked up. Heading to point marked.
Okay, can
Need to hold
I hack
off on that
this?
build.
Can you just do this whole mission with just her? Well, let's make this a little easier on ourselves and kill this building. About to get a guy.
FNR worked up.
I have such a habit of hitting keys. I need to stop.
Heading to point marked.
Oh, it's W now.
Point marked.
Unfortunately, I had to click this one because I have my hotkey switcher unit thing on. Yeah, it's a little awkward.
Heading to point marked.
Wow, those guys shoot really far away. Apparently, can I click this?
Heading to point marked. Target marked.
Need to hold off on that build.
Heading to point marked. We got our hands on some resources. Heading to point marked. Target marked.
A lot of dudes.
Help on its way.
In contact with infantry. Target marked. Target marked. Target marked. Target marked. Target marked. Heading to point 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 marked.
That's one way of doing it.
Heading to point marked. Heading to point
Yeah, let's
marked.
be on the high ground.
Heading to point marked. Target marked. Heading to point marked. Resources scored. We're doing good.
Need to hold off on that build.
Heading to point marked.
What's this thing do? Is this mine now?
Heading to point marked. Heading to point marked.
Why'd you run around that way?
Heading to point marked. Heading to point marked.
Can I walk on this? I guess we just stand here and snipe a few dudes. It's a heavy turret.
This is free fall. Understood.
How much does this heal do anyway? So I have 331.
Help on its way.
Heals me to full. Based off just that little bit.
Heading to
Okay.
point marked. Heading to point marked.
Oh, I can't actually walk this way. I have to go all the way around. Okay.
Heading to point marked.
Well, let's kill this structure here. Can I build anything yet? No.
This is free fall.
Maybe I should just like run back and get this so I can build a base. But I kind of want to see if I can kill this thing. Look at this chunker, dude.
We're dealing damage on this position.
How much damage does this thing do? Not a lot. This thing's kind of worthless. I mean, she is pretty chunky, I guess.
We're pushing and looking good.
I guess it's like this is part of the actual base you're supposed to kill. You could just do this with your hero unit.
Hostile fortification destroyed.
We've been kept
Oh.
here like prisoners. Let us join the fight.
Oh.
Take these weapons. Now
oh.
push for the next strong point.
Oh, okay, that actually, yeah, I was right. This actually is like the objective. Whoopsie doodle.
Lion here. Go.
Heading to point marked.
Oh, my bad. Let's go ahead and
Heading to point marked.
carry on then, and we'll get units to kill the structures. See how units do against structures instead of me just
Point marked.
doing my thing with hero units.
Heading to point marked. Heading to point marked. Target marked. Target marked. Heading to point marked. That's it. That's all the resources.
Fuel ready to use. Orders confirmed.
Uh-oh.
Copy that. Take this time to ramp up production. Start with the barracks.
Okay. Press construction button and select barracks. What's this thing do? This is mix worker. Okay, so this is just like StarCraft.
There's materials ready to use.
This is a worker unit. We have to go into the build menu, which unfortunately I have in a different thing. Core base. Okay, so this must be my command center.
Orders confirmed. Orders confirmed. You are fuel. Okay, folks. Make the nearest.
Can I have multiple people work on? No, it doesn't seem like it. Seems like it just does it on its own. Yeah, it just does it on its own.
I think I can hack the heavy turrets at hostile strongpoints.
Oh, now she tells me after I killed one. What else can I build? I need tier 2. Requires a barracks. Now I can upgrade to tier 2. Where's my money?
Assign
Up
workers
here.
to build production facilities.
This is an awkward spot. I wish this stuff was right down here. Because your eyes are looking at the mini-map. Why would you want to make me put my eyes all the way up here? It feels like a bad design choice to me. Because there's not a lot of information right here. So having this stuff in this area would be really nice, because it's not an information overload since there's not much information down there anyway. So what do we have? Jackal. And then Mamba. Okay.
Move and report.
Can I just make more workers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Will they just split evenly? Let's find out. Provides stealth detection and mechanized facility. Okay, let's build one site. Is there a way to like change the... No, I'm hitting like R and stuff. It's not switching it, so...
Move and report.
And let's go ahead and build a watchtower like right here, because this will cover... I don't know, how much does this cover?
Orders confirmed.
I have no idea.
Orders confirmed.
But we'll do it like this.
Orders confirmed.
Covers both entrances to our base.
Orders confirmed.
Yeah, you do have to manually task these. That's unfortunate.
You're gathering materials. Golf on mech facility.
Increases pop cap. Okay.
Good on your last.
What's this do? Makes scorpions. Light artillery. Flamethrower unit. And heavy attack vehicle with a long-range laser cannon. So you have to upgrade your buildings as well. Okay, so it's like playing as Empire.
You're on fuel collection. Lion here, go.
Okay, increase the sight range of it.
You go for upgrade.
I wish when you clicked on it, you could see the sight range of it. This is the upgrade. Okay, those are almost done upgrading. Now, if I build more of these, does it make it build faster? Let's find out. Let's just slap this like down here.
Orders confirmed. Orders confirmed. You're on fuel collection.
Okay, we're at tier 3.
Tier 3 HQ online.
150 pop cap now. That's a heal. Oh, let's just make crocodile. Screw it. Okay, these can upgrade to... Okay, so that's how far they are. That's a pretty good sight range, honestly. Now.
You're on fuel collection.
This does not... This is an infinite thing. Okay, so these nodes in, like, actual multiplayer must be... No, these are separate. So you have to upgrade these separately. So it's not like the older RTS games where if you have a building, it just makes the other buildings faster. They are separate. Okay. Oh, it's good to know.
Crocodile is rolled off the line.
So this is still upgrading. I wish this icon remained over here so you can see the upgrade over here. Let's go ahead and take just these guys over and attack stuff.
Ready for combat.
So unit production's kind of slow. This is a bit more like
Heading to point marked.
the speed of Company of Heroes or StarCraft.
Point marked.
Crocodile is rolled off the line.
It's not very fast building. The Command & Conquer is usually a lot faster.
This is free fall.
It's very much more like StarCraft and stuff.
Taking turret fire. Need to hold off on that build. Help on
I got a visual of a hostile turret. Let's see how quickly I can hack it. On the offensive and dealing damage. What do you need?
hostile infantry firing on me.
Can I force fire this?
Strong point clear.
And these are pretty strong, actually.
Get out. We're coming with you.
I want some bagels.
Lions taking the field.
Right, on the move.
Oh, can I grab this? Like, why are you running all the way around? Pole position.
Lion here.
I will say the sound effects of explosions are delightful.
On the move. Right, on the move. Strategic asset deployed in support. Pulling out.
And the laser sounds are pretty nice when they make noise. They do seem to cancel, though.
Right, on the move.
We have, and it doesn't seem to be a cap on your supplies. So it's just
Missing work.
how many supplies you have is how many supplies you have.
Lion here. Go.
This is actually a fair number of units. Like, you can get 100, you can get 15 of your big boys.
On the move.
That's pretty considerable, actually.
Right, on the move.
So it's not like an insanely small unit cap. It's reasonable. Can I just drive through here?
Right, on the move. Right, on the move.
Oh, I can't actually drive through there. You have to go up here and around. Okay.
Missing work. Right, on the move.
Why do I keep seeing? Why is the spotlight considered an enemy on here? That's kind of strange. I'm not gonna.
Range.
Not gonna lie, kind of weird.
Help on its way. I'm going. Right, on the move.
Now, the more enemies or the more people. Oh, I have to train more infantry.
Beetle here.
Jackal trained up and ready for work. Jackal trained up and ready for work.
AoE would crush stuff in this game because you have unit overlap. I don't like unit overlap.
Jackal trained up and ready for work.
Enemy strong point in sight. We're dealing damage on this position. We cleared an enemy strong point.
Croc here. Lion.
Where is my here? We go. There it is. This is a
Need to hold
thing.
off on that
No.
build.
Lions ready for combat.
Go.
How do I get over here?
Right, on the move. Right, on the move.
Oh.
Right, on the move. Right, on the move.
How do I get over here?
Crocodile reading.
There are 2 gates blocking the way to the base. Looks like they're powered by generators. I can hack them to disable the gates.
Kind of weird champ
Find them.
that you can't just drive a big ass vehicle over a fence. But okay.
Crocodile reading.
Where's my
This is free fall?
Lion here, go. Crocodile reading. Lion here, go.
This is free fall? Hack underway. Watch out, down.
Now target the last generator. Let's clear the way to the base. Beetle here.
That's fine.
Go.
It's doing like no damage. Yeah, whatever's shooting me is doing 2 damage a shot.
Lion here, go.
Can I like heal this guy like this? No.
Help on its way.
is Freefall. Hacking now. Generators out. The gates are open. Point marked. We cleared all enemy strong points.
Good work. That's a go for our last target. Destroy the enemy base.
Lions ready for combat.
Strategic asset deployed in support. Strategic asset deployed in support. Strategic asset deployed in support.
I honestly don't think it matters how much units I sacrifice. Can I double heal something? Can I triple heal something?
Help on its way. Crocodile radium.
See, look, what are these units doing? They're trying to get to these two spots to shoot, and they're just so confused. I also feel like the unit composition and stuff I had should not have beaten such a large army, even with like using these abilities. Attack move should prioritize units first instead of buildings.
Global risk base in sight.
This is it, folks. Go for a final assault. Show them what we got.
Can they shoot air? No. What shoots air? Do I have nothing that shoots air except like Mambas?
Mamba reads.
This is Freefall.
Mamba outfitted and ready for
You can't like target things like if I have these units, they shouldn't even be allowed to click on this. Yeah, you should not be allowed to click on air units with ground units if they can't fire at it. Because in situations like that, if the enemy has an air unit on top of their guys, like you'd have to turn your camera, which I'm assuming is with the alt button. But like I said, I can't do that because... Nope, I can't shoot those. Can I shoot this? I have nothing that shoots air.
This is Freefall.
That's awkward. I can't shoot air units.
Base destroyed. We did it.
All right, grab the tech and let's get the hell out of here. Let's take the fight to Mount Riley and end this damn war.
On my way.
Okay, I'll just do an outro here. Alright, so what are my thoughts on the game? I like the art style. I like the sound design. I like explosions sound nice and crisp. I enjoy that in a game. However, unit behavior, I hate the unit behavior. The pathing is weird. When you go to try to strike something, the units will kind of wiggle instead of trying just to find a path around. Like I'm not sure how that is from a coding standpoint. I know if you use like a mesh system and you try to do that, it'll recognize other objects nearby and it'll find a clear path around something typically. This seems to more like, it sees like a little bit of a gap and it tries to fit in there. It realizes it can't and then just kind of wiggles its way around eventually. It seems like the game, is there a way to escape? Kind of like, yeah, okay. It seems like they're trying to market this game as a competitive game because there's no AI fighting except that one mode which requires friends to play with. But yeah, it seems like there's just PvP. And in a PvP game where the control the units is like what you just saw, where stuff is wiggling about or stuff rushes forward off of high ground, even though they can't be seen on their own, mind you. Like, I didn't select them to go down there. I didn't do anything with them. I didn't select them at all. They just ran forward willingly off of the high ground to get shot. That's a big no. Like, there needs to be some sort of priority code in place where if your units have high ground, they stay on the high ground firing the best they can, not coming to the low ground to get shot. Another complaint I would have is I would hope you have the ability to change your unit's hotkeys. Let me check that out real quick. Is there a way to change your unit's hotkeys specifically? No, it seems to be based on just the panel itself. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that's atrocious. Let's see. No. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be a way to individually select keys for your units. That's also a big no for me. Like, if you're playing that game, the bonus it has is it does smart select the next unit that has a cooldown available without selecting multiple units of the same type to use a cooldown against the same target, I believe. So that is a big bonus there. But what they need to do is follow that up with being allowed to set each individual unit's hotkey, unit type's hotkey. So for example, we had our commander lady and the vehicle. And if we had the vehicle that had the gas barrel and we have our lady and we press Q, I'm not sure which it would try to use. I think it's going to try to launch the gas barrel at the enemy using Q, and it might also activate our lady's ability to stealth right away. I would like the gas ability to, say, be on my X key, for example, and then my commander lady's ability on Q. And then let's say my laser guys had an ability. I would like that one to be on E, for example. So that way you can have all your units selected at once instead of having to manually select them and then press the button and have more. It feels a bit more janky when you have to make multiple unit selections instead of just having them grouped at once. If they're going to allow that smart selection of the next unit cycling this ability, they should also allow you to have individual hotkeys selected for each unit. It would make the gameplay much more crisp and smooth, and you wouldn't have to worry about people having like APM issues. I'm a slow player. My hand speed is not very high. I mean, we're talking like 100 APM, if that. I'm not a very fast APM person. So I like to have diversity of keys or modifier keys like Shift Q, Q, and like Space Q and stuff like that. Like, you shouldn't have to rely on people having to hit to have janky stuff happen in order to use command keys like that. But the big thing, like I said, my big issue with the game, of course, is the unit wiggling and then the unit overlap. Unit overlap in a game like this where you can have AoE effects is not good. But I think I understand the reasoning behind it. The game seems very small in regards to maps, at least from those I played. I can't check out the player versus player maps because it doesn't let me go into the game by myself. I need to have a person to fight. So if you want to check out a map, you have to have a person. That sucks. Like, you want to explore maps to check them out even without people there. So there's a lot it can do in regards to improving it. This game did just come out December 8th, and it's only like, what, the 12th or 11th? Yeah, this video will probably come out the 12th. So, there's a lot of improvement they could do. And like I said, I want bots. You can't have an RTS game without having AI to fight against to try different things out. As much as I dislike player versus player, even if I did enjoy it, I would still want bots to test things on. Like build orders and stuff like that. Like, you can't have a game like this without bots to practice against, at least for dummy things. It's nice, but I mean, it's nice to fight against people for that kind of thing, but I'm a comp stomper at heart. I like comp stomping. Yeah, and this is kind of a mix between like StarCraft and Company of Heroes. There is no cover system, but the unit production speed feels much more like Company of Heroes. StarCraft, I believe, is a lot faster. Like, those vehicles were producing quite slowly, and the stun ability is kind of nice, but once again, like I said, the clumping thing, that's an issue. I didn't notice a hotkey for scattering. Maybe I just didn't notice it. Let's take a look real quick. Was there a hotkey for scattering? No, there is no hotkey for scattering, so you have to manually target it. But with the manual targeting, your units run forward on their own unless you have them set to hold position. I didn't notice if you could set your buildings to produce units in hold position. I would have that by default because I do not want my units chasing stuff unless I select them to, which is with the stutter stepping. I guess that's more of a MOBA thing. But if I'm going to have my units chase something, I'll stutter step them myself. So all in all, what do I think of the game? It's very I just feel like there's a lot they could do to improve the base game. Now granted, I didn't really get into it, but if we look at Army, and we go to just global, oh, we're playing Blacklist. I saw only 3 units available when I was, let's go to vehicle, when I was doing that mission. I'm guessing when you're in a mission, there's some sort of loadout thing you could have. And I'm guessing some of these units are going to be overlapping that. I don't know, though. That might just be me making an assumption. But I swear I saw something like that. Roster, here we go. Roster. Okay, so you can only have select units in here. Yeah, like I can put an Overlord, a Jester, or a Marshal in this slot. Once again, let's go to a Blacklist since I'm a bit more familiar with that one. So Silverfish, Beetle, or Leopard. In this slot, I can only have an Albatross or a Locust. In this slot, it's a Prion and a Wasp. And in this slot, it's a Stingray or a Condor or Crocodile. So it seems like you have different unit types that can go in each slot, and then that's your loadout for the game. Kind of a weird choice. I see what they're going for. It helps prevent things like let's take Command & Conquer, for example. Oftentimes in Command & Conquer, Tiberium Wars, Kane's Wrath, it's better to, as GDI, use Predators over Mammoth tanks, because Predators are much more cost-effective, especially when you have railgun upgrades. So I'm guessing that's to help prevent that sort of thing. So in this one, you can choose to have certain units to counter other strategies. Like if you know your opponent's, say, I don't know, like a heavy user, and he focuses on like heavy units or whatever, and that's just his go-to playstyle, you could try to counter that by making your load a certain way. But then that's the bad thing. He could also predict that and then hard counter what you're doing. But I guess that's kind of like, say, Hearthstone in that regards. Some decks, or loadouts in this case, would just counter other loadouts. I'm assuming that's how it is. I'm not quite sure, but I think that is what they're going for. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that or not. I don't think I'm a fan of that. In an RTS game, you're supposed to be able to adapt to what the enemy is doing. So I'm guessing there would be a hard meta in place where you take a set number of units that has kind of a light counter to everything, where it has no real weakness, and then that's just what you use. And there would be no other type of play for it, because if you try to do a different type of play, you might make yourself too weak in one aspect, and it's just not good. So I'm assuming that's how it works. I do not know, because like I said, I don't have friends that play this game, and I'm not a fan of doing player versus player online. Which is why you usually won't see me play player versus player games. I'm much more of a PvE kind of person. Well, anyways, that was kind of a long segment of my thoughts on the game. It was like 10 minutes of me rambling, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so tell me what you guys think in the comments about the gameplay you saw, just in terms of the campaign. I was not too much of a fan of it. It kind of felt half-baked to me. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Peace.